Process and activity objects located in the iGrafx platform provide us with a wealth of information about relationships. Looking at our individual processes themselves, we can see not just the fact that we have a process object that's been created, but we can also see what other activities might be involved in that process, what KPIs, what risk, what ownership might be identified. Additionally, we can see exactly which diagrams describe this particular process and how it's related within the organization. Again, identifying ownership, controls, risks, and or inputs for data flow with regards to the processes or the activities themselves. Processes can be created either at the main folder level, identifying a main level process, or they might be identified as sub-processes by selecting a process object underneath. Activities can only be created under the process level to identify the specific activities that might make up that particular process itself. An activity, once identified, will show the same type of information that a process will, being able to provide us detailed information with regards to which diagrams these activities are performed on, as well as ownership, inputs, and outputs for data flow with regards to a particular activity itself as well. For our example, we'll go ahead and create a main level process as maybe being our customer support process. We'll also give it a summary, go ahead and create our object, and now we have our process object created. Now that we have it created, why don't we go ahead and establish some ownership for this. We'll pop over here to our responsible component, and we'll notice that this pulls up our resource model that was previously defined within our platform, and we can either identify roles, individuals, or groups with regards to this RACI. For this, we'll go ahead and say the customer support group as a whole is responsible, but maybe the accountable party is actually one of the roles, in this case, the customer service manager. Now, because they may have ties to the actual IT department for sending information to them, make sure that they're at least informed if we're going to make changes on how our customer service process is utilized. So maybe in this case, we'll go ahead and select the IT director. With our process created here, why don't we create an activity underneath of this by coming up to our plus sign and selecting the activity option. For this particular activity, they create a support ticket as a part of their normal customer service process. Again, we'll add a summary, and we'll go ahead and create this object as well. Now, once again, where our summary information comes over, we can go ahead and describe ownership for this particular activity with regards to our overall process. And this is the customer service rep that performs this particular activity, so we'll go ahead and identify them as the responsible party. Once our processes and activities have been created, we have the ability to now utilize them within our various process diagrams themselves. Come down here to my customer service process that I created prior to this, and we'll see that we have a document that's already been created. So here's our diagram. We have relationships back to the actual resource model that was previously defined, as was mentioned. We'll go ahead and check this file out, and we'll see if we can't use some of these objects. Well, we create support incidents, so we'll just click and drag that out. Right here on top of this activity, we'll notice that it automatically creates that relationship. And the support process, we'll go ahead and drag right here onto the process component itself. Again, bringing over all of that relationship information for us as well. We'll also go ahead and have this diagram describe the overall customer service process object that we've identified. All right, now that we've made these modifications, again, being able to see the relationship, see the ownership with regards to the process, being able to see any KPIs that would have been pulled over, go ahead and check it back in, add our comments that we added relationship data. And now that we've identified this, well, what exactly does that mean? When we start looking at our overall process, we can see that it describes the customer service process. The activity itself describes the customer support process and creating an incident or a ticket there. And if we go back to our overall customer support process, we can see the diagram that is supported. We can see where create support ticket is utilized in a diagram. And now we can also see the support process is not just utilized on this main level process, but it's also a diagram element over here in our customer service process. Again, giving us the ability to see across the organization where activities and processes might be used, providing us with the ability for change management, being able to see impact. If we make a modification within this particular process, what are the impacts up or downstream for how this might affect my overall organization?